Hi, it's Louise from WelshBunnies.com here with my 8th Project Life video. Hope you like it. So I'm going to have a different opening this week. I placed an order, and I mainly placed an order because I'd run out of this glue, and I also placed an order for some of the page protectors. But I thought I would quickly go through my orders so you can have a look at some of the supplies. I'm mainly doing this because I like to look at this when I watch videos, because then I can have a look at the supplies and see what they look like sort of more easily than when they're just a flat picture. So I picked up some of these freckled fawn arrow paper clips. They look really nice, and I love paper clip embellishments when they're all shaped, so those look nice. These were on sale, and I thought I'd try these sequins to see how I thought they looked, because they're quite a small embellishment they might do, and they seem like quick and easy to use, so those. I've been absolutely loving my transparent stickers from Me and My Big Ideas, so I bought it in 3 new styles. So this is the Love one. I don't know where it says which one it is, but it's all these white stickers. Lovely, and they're so great, you just put them straight onto a photograph. There's a nice lettering there. You just whip them off, put them straight onto a photograph. So that is the Love one. This is Baby Girl, because I've got 2 little girls. Oh, that one says. And this one is maybe This Is You and Me or something. It's another sort of love themed one, but love this. It was a good day. Dream big, remember this. All of these ones are quite generic. Live in the moment, love the moment. So these are lovely, and I love these for Project Life. I just stick them straight onto a picture, and they embellish the picture slightly, but they don't obscure what I might want to keep as just like a really nice photograph without over embellishing it or making it too busy. So they're really great, so I bought 3 of these. I highly recommend those. These are Maggie Holmes flower pieces, and here are all the different flower pieces that you can have. Now I love flower pieces, so this is a quick pick for me, especially because it's got a lot of yellow and red in there, and also some glittery teal and gold, because I love using gold as an accent colour. So that's really nice. Now for the first time I bought some embossing folders, and the patterns are this star print and this sort of curly Q thing going on here. I've never used an embossing folder before. That's what the patterns are. I can show you what it looks like, because I'm going to keep this aside and use it for this week to try out. I bought these freckled fawn chips, and I'm just in love with them so much. If you look, they're all smiley faces. So I love these, like unapologetically love them. They're just my style, and I do like wood veneers and little smiley faces in mine. So I'll keep those aside. I'll probably end up using those. This is Pebbles from their current Valentine's Day collection, and I love the bees, all the little anthropomorphic mac and cheese, the cookie and the milk, the jam jars, little ladybirds with hearts for spots. I just love this. It's so my style. I love that. And then I've got a bunch of papers and a mask. So this is a big 12 by 12 mask, and I really like how it looks. I like the idea of misting it quite heavily on one part and then quite lightly on the other, so it's got like a graduated effect. And I believe that in here is a piece of paper that has, this is the piece of paper that matches with this mask. It's basically the same pattern. It's such a lovely piece of paper, this. I really love it. So there's that. And then there's this purple, which is just a lovely nice purple. I find purple quite difficult colour to come across. There don't seem to be a lot of supplies in purple, and I do like using it as an accent colour in my Project Life albums. And this is Basic Grey Aurora. I think it's quite an old one, and I might have got that one on sale. I think this is Basic Grey J'adore, and I really like these as 3x4 cards. They come in lots of lovely colours. I really like this one particularly, and this one. And I just like this slightly unusual sort of 3x4 cards. It's not really saying a sentiment or anything so much as that it looks like old-timey packaging. I think it looks really great. Now this next one I specifically bought. I bought this one and this one together, and I just love this colour scheme, this grey, pink, yellow and cream, and I bought this yellow chevron to go with it. I just want to cut this down into a 6x4, put a little title on it, and just use this as accents all over a page. So I'm quite tempted to just, I'm going to put these aside and just use these to scrapbook a week. Just these two together and pull in other things that matches. I specifically bought this one so that I could cut this into a 6x4 card like that, because it's just such a great card as a 6x4. And then this is just a lovely plain like teal grid print, which I will use the heck out of, no doubt. And then I bought these Simple Stories. This is the Daily Grind, and this is just 4 different colours of chevron, and on the back are polka dot. I just really love it, really plain and simple. Great for matting, great for just having the background with a couple of 3x4 prints stacked on top. It's very slightly distressed, just really like that. And this is Simple Stories of Charmed Life, and these are some stripes. Now I've got 2 of the navy because I know that I'm making a navy album for my wedding renewal, and the colours of my wedding renewal were navy, orange and yellow. So I'm almost certainly going to be doing some double page layouts. So I'll have my album, and this will be the background for a nice big 24x12 double page layout of a 12x12 album. And then they had this in the nice yellow and the nice green, 'cause like this sort of rich full green is another colour that I don't have a lot of. I've got some mint green, mild green, but this sort of, you know, grass green colour I don't have a lot of in my supplies. I've got some of that. This is a nice craft one, and it says "Hello Love." So it's really nice. It's quite subtle, little pattern. I think that's lovely. This one I specifically bought. It's American Craft Serendipity, called Hello Beautiful. I specifically bought it because I'm going to cut these out. I'm not even going to put this flat into my supplies as a 12x12. I'm just going to cut out all these teal flowers, all these purple flowers, all these pink flowers. And I'm just going to straight up use these as embellishments. I never considered using this as a sheet on its own. This is a lovely lemon print. And I have a really lovely lemon coloured dress. It's actually got lemon print on it. It was I bought it last year, and one day I'm going to take a nice picture of me wearing it. And that would be a lovely piece of paper. This is Pebbles We Go Together, and that's their current Valentine's Day collection. And it's more of this, the same as this sticker. It's this lovely thing. I love you to the moon and back. We go together like mac and cheese. You light up my life. And it's really lovely. Now, where it says to and from, it almost acts like these are going to be labels for like presents or something, like Valentine's Day presents. Like you would cut them out and put them on a present. I might put on here to Naomi from Mummy. But I might just cut some of these out and stick them onto a different background. Like just cut out the centre, and so I'll lose the to and from, because I'm not always going to want to be saying to someone from someone in my scrapbooks. And it's got this nice plain pink and red stripe on the back if I decide that I don't want to use some of these. Although I think I'll use them all eventually. Now this, I just love this. Crepe paper. Open book sweet story. This wood grain ombre in a soft pink. I love it. I bought 2 of it, not for any reason, but because I love it. This is a big heart print. It's very subtle actually, so I think I've got a whole album to do of when I went to Japan on holiday with my husband, and we were out there for several months because I love Japan. That was before we had children, obviously. And at that time I actually had pink hair. And I like the idea of just having a 6x4 picture here, some embellishments just in this corner, and then just the rest of this is just this big heart. So it'll be a lovely paper for like for highlighting a particular photo. So it'll really bring out the photo. So not a paper to put lots of photos and embellishments and journaling on, but maybe just a paper to put a single photo on. This is it's a speciality crepe paper kiss kiss, and it is some lovely 3x4 and 6x4 cards with the like gold foil. Really like those. I think this was on the sale as well, and that was at, I think it's called Hey Little Magpie now. It used to be called Sarah's Cards, but that was where I placed my order there. Lovely shop in the UK, obviously United Kingdom, because that's where I am. This is called Spicy Social Soup Bits of Blogs, and this is just a useful, cut it out, stick it in an album. That's a pocket filled with whatever colour you want. And then these are 2 Alison Crafts Hello World, and I'm pretty sure that's Hello World. Yeah, Hello World. This one's You Are Love, and this one is Welcome Love. And with 2 little girls, these are just lovely pictures. So much laughter, the sweetest thing, Hello World, Today, Reach for the Stars, little I forget the name for these despite the fact that my children live in them, basically. These little baby vests. So that's the supplies that I bought this week. And I just wanted to show you those because it can be quite useful to see supplies. And here is my photographs for the week. This is the week that I took my daughter to the theatre. So I've got this theatre flyer, and I've got these tickets as well. So that's the ephemera I have for this week. And then I have all these photographs as well. And now I'm just thinking about a colour scheme. I'm actually very tempted, and I think I probably will grab this paper, these 2 paper. Ignore this because I've actually previously scrapbooked a very similar flyer when we booked the tickets several weeks before this week. So I'm not going to be scrapbooking this. I will scrapbook the tickets, and there are pictures of her at the theatre to scrapbook. But I just love this so much, and I find these days I want to scrapbook my new products straight away just to get them used, because before it was very much I would buy new products and I put them away and I almost wouldn't want to use them because they were too pretty. But now I want to use my products just as soon as I can, get them out, try them out, because otherwise I've just got all these products that I think are too pretty to use, and it makes me feel better about buying things. I place an order every 6 to 8 weeks, I think, for scrapbooking supplies, and I tend not to place orders close to my birthday or Christmas, and I make a wish list on a scrapbooking website, and my husband will buy me various bits and pieces off the wish list for my birthday. So really excited to get these supplies in. So first things first, I'm just going to go to my supplies and bring in a whole bunch of stuff to match these 2 papers, and then we can start looking at where I'm going to put photographs, what am I going to scrapbook with. So here's the paper I really want to use. I took out this matching grey, this pink. I thought the pink sequins would be nice. I'm going to try using these embossing folders on this pink and possibly the grey, because I want to try using these. I've never used embossing folders before. I like the pale pink And I'm probably going to cut out this flower and use it somewhere. I think this So Awesome card goes really nicely. These two colours together match nicely. So I'm going to try popping that one straight in. And then I Love You to the Moon and Back to Naomi and Lizzie from Mummy. I'm just going to put that in, and it's a pink, but it's also got a bit of grey, just a little bit in there, and I just really love it. I'm trying to use as much, and obviously this one is matching. So I'm going to be trying to use these supplies as much as possible. Just keep it nice and simple. So first things first, I'm going to grab my photographs. So here's my tickets. I'm probably going to end up scrapbooking too, probably somewhere like there, or maybe there. So somewhere on this bottom line I'll probably put these tickets. And I think this is just the receipt. Yep. Now this is a lovely picture of Daddy reading Naomi her story. Now this picture printed out like this, as in sort of 1/4 on this page and 3/4 on this page. But when I get a misprint like that, sometimes I'll just try and use it. So I might just put this here and then cut it here and then accentuate the error that the printer made. And because it's quite, it's a weird like distress effect, so I quite like that. This is to signify the fact that this is the week of Halloween. I might do a bit of journaling on that card. I think I'd like to cut it down quite a bit so that it matches the week's colours. It's a bit, I don't know, it's the only thing that registers it's Halloween. We didn't really go big on Halloween this year. I wasn't very well, but we did put some stuff on our door and we had some trick-or-treaters, which was lovely because we used to live in an area of town where there were no trick-or-treaters. This is a picture of Cardiff Millennium Stadium, and that was a picture of a mushroom. It's just a nice picture that I like. It's a picture of my youngest. This is a picture of my daughter, and she's wearing her brand new welly boots. So I want to journal about her brand new welly boots. These are two pictures of my youngest, and she's being carried in her baby backpack, and in this one she's just fallen asleep, and that's like 5 minutes later she's just absolutely zonked out there. I put that one here, this one here, and this one here. This is another picture of and I might just use that one instead. Okay, let's put this one here and this here, and then see like that. And it is a lot of just moving things around, seeing what I think fits. It's a lovely one there, and then this one. It's a picture of my cat headbutting me because that's how he shows his love. So I really love the pictures in this week. They're really pretty. Really some lovely pictures here. So I think the first thing oh look, there's not a space for the 6x4. There's so many pictures, then there's not enough space for the 6x4. So despite the fact that I like this, and I was going to try and do something with this misprint, I'll put those aside and maybe use them for a mini book for my mother-in-law. Just pop them aside for now and create a space here for my 6x4 title card, which is going to be out of this pattern paper. And then I'm going to cut out this 3x4 card and this 3x4 card. Pop them here and here, and I'm going to cut out a 6x4 in grey for that and a 6x4 in pink for that, and I think a 3x4 in grey for this. So I'm going to do a lot of cutting now, you know, cutting out cards, maybe chomping corners so that the corners I want rounded around it. And then I'll come back and we can start working on putting some of these cards together. So I've cut out various bits. 6x4 in that main paper that I love. Pink, a grey, 3x4 grey. And I've cut out these two 3x4s and rounded the corners. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try embossing. So I've grabbed my Sizzix. I've owned this for a while, but I've never actually used it for anything other than metal dies. So I grabbed I use a magnetic platform with it. So I've grabbed my original platform, and I believe, according to the instructions, that this is my original platform. Extended multi-purpose platform is what it says. And I think I'm using it with both its pages unturned. Embossing folder, it says here. So then these are Becky Higgins Project Life desktop collection. And I bought them because I love stars and I really like this curlicue here. So I've never used an embossing folder before, but I think it shouldn't be too tricky. So I'm going to place this card here, place that over the top, and I really want to make sure that it's nice and central. I don't want it to be uneven. That looks nice and central to me there, all sandwiched in there. And by the looks of it, I grab my two plastic sheets and then just run it through my sheet. So I'm learning with you guys. Let's see if this works out. Right, so first time using this, see if this works out. Oh no, that does look nice. It's a very subtle embossing there. If you can pick it up. Yeah, so very nice subtle embossing. And I like how that looks. And now I'm going to do the star print one. So I'm going to put my sheet of paper central as possible. There we go. Now this might not end up as 6x4. It looks like it's not going to, in which case I might end up matting it onto some grey underneath. And let's just move this through here. There we go. I might have not sandwiched that on carefully enough. Oh, it looks like it's all come out. And there is the star print. It's much harder for the camera to pick that up for some reason. It's quite subtle. No, it's not really picking it up at all, is it? It's a subtle star print. Anyway, if I just pop all this stuff out of the way for now. So now I have this subtle star print. I want to chomp the corners on it. And this is the background for what? I want this picture. Now, I want this to be the background for this picture. And just a really nice subtle star print. The camera's not really picking up, but it might pick it up in the stills that I take at the end. Now this one, I want to grab my craft knife and my chopping board, which is what I use when I'm cutting things up with my craft knife. So I can get my craft knife. So here we go, my craft knife. And I want to use this as a frame for this picture. So I'm going to very carefully cut about 1/16 of an inch out from the embossed edge. And if that doesn't look good, And I'll just take it all the way back to the embossed edge and see how that looks. But I'm willing to just experiment with this. This was the thought I had when I looked at this picture and knew what supplies I was using this week. So I'm just going to roll with my first thought on these things. I think I've cut that in much closer on that side than the other. It's quite tricky to see, the embossing is quite subtle. Let's just see how it pops out at the end. I'm assuming that there's a way with ink that you can bring out the embossing and make it look more obvious. But I'll have to look into that. There we go. There's the frame. Now I really feel that this embossed frame needs to be made to be more obvious. And trying to think of the easiest way to do that might be to use my gelassos. And there we go. And I think it's sort of like an almost gothic frame for the door there. Smooth the frame over a little. I like how that looks. That looks a little bit it matches the colours and it looks a little bit special. Right, I'll try using my black gelasso on this. And it's going to be messy, as is my wont. Just going to rub some onto my finger and then there we go. So I'm going to rub a tiny bit onto my finger, just like that. Got a bit on my finger. I'm going to rub it along the frame. Yeah, and that's making it stand out much more. There we go. Much better. Now I'm going to do the same on the pink embossed paper then. And I think I want to round edging on this just to make it a bit more matching with the other non-photograph elements. There we go. Yeah, I really like how that looks. There's lots of space for me to put a tag in there to journal that it was Halloween. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up my finger with a baby wipe. And then I guess I will try using, I don't want to use black, I think that might be too, so I'll try using just grey. Or I could try using a darker pink. Let's just try this bit of grey. There we go, just a little rub of the grey. It's making the stars come out. There you go. And now the camera should pick that up, I think. No, still not really wanting to pick up these embossed stars. Oh no, there we go, finally. Maybe it had it there for a moment. Can't. There we go. There's the embossed stars. And it looks much better in person, obviously. So I'm gonna do the distressing on these stars to make them stand out more. We can just skip ahead to when I'm done. I finished the embossing on this and it makes it look quite distressed. Let's have one last attempt to show you these stars. Yeah, you can see them a little. I don't know why I tried there. I think it looks slightly, because there's distressing on the inside, I'm going to distress the outside of this by inking the edges of this paper. I think will help bring it together. So just quite liberally ink up the edges of this card with my distress ink and my ink pad. There we go. Yeah, that looks nice. And this is the picture I want to go on there. I'm going to ink up this piece because I think I might end up using this piece. The bit I cut out of the thing. Just a nice little detail piece. that I might end up using somewhere there. Let's see if it fits in there. That might do as a nice little bit of journaling there. I want a big arrow to go in here on the boots. Now, I want to do some journaling on that, and I think there's an embellishment I need to find somewhere in my collection, but I don't have it to hand. So let's finish up this one. I'll grab my frame, add a bit of glue to the sides, and then I want to stick this down. Now, I'm not completely centering because I think it looks better sort of more over to this edge. There we go, that looks nice. Maybe I want to center it slightly farther across, actually. Oh dear, that hasn't come away so nicely. Oh, let's just leave it then. Let's go back. This is gone apart a bit, so I will just... Good thing is this is supposed to look a bit distressed, so the fact that it's slightly distressed there doesn't really matter. Sometimes you try and reverse things and it turns out that it's too late. You've just got to stick with it. That's alright. Okay, so let's cut the rest of the photo away from this frame. There we go. And what I'm mainly scrapbooking in this picture, as I say, we didn't do a big whole lot for Halloween because I wasn't there. And actually this has got a bit of glue on it, and so to make sure that that doesn't cause a problem, I'll just stick some washi tape over where the glue is. Otherwise the glue will be sticking to everything. There we go. Now the back of this isn't sticky because there's some washi tape over the glue. I'm going to put a journaling token here, and I will grab my journaling punch and this lovely chevron print, and I'll just grab quite close to the edge, grab a label, and I don't believe I know that I have a really cool stamp set. I think I might have made an appearance last week where I only used the stars, but it is this little stamp set of Halloween stampy things, and so I want to do some journaling. I'm just thinking which of these will look the best. They're all a bit bigger than I want, really. Let's bring it out and try lining it up. So these are all just a bit bigger than I'd like. Maybe this little candy corn thing, although candy corn not really a thing in the UK, but it's international enough now that everyone sort of knows what it means. So I'll just quickly do this, stamping up. Oh, I've dropped my ink off the side of the table. So I can't stamp up this right this very moment. So I'm going to go organise my stuff a bit more because some of it's fallen off the table, and come back and then we can work on some more stuff. So I've reorganised my supplies and the stuff that's out and about, and sometimes halfway through a project like spread I will need to stop and tidy up because everything just gets totally through other, which is a good Scottish word for disorganised. And I also went to my collection. It took me a little bit of time to track down where I'd organised this one to. This is an old print. So my this piece comes from a brand spanking new current collection. This one comes from a collection that is just so old. It's an American craftsman, and it's a welly boot print one, and I'm gonna cut out a pair of these welly boots to act as an embellishment on the card with my daughter wearing her brand new welly boots. And I bought this piece of paper specifically to scrapbook my child in welly boots many years before I had children, and I've always kept it, and it's actually quite a lovely moment for me to use this paper to scrapbook my baby in welly boots, because I always wanted to have children. We thought might not be able to, so we're very lucky to have such beautiful children, and I'm really glad that I kept this paper for such a long time, knowing that one day I'm going to get the use of this paper. So I'll pop that to the side, and I'm going to cut some welly boots out of that to embellish the picture of my daughter. But for now, I'll just grab this piece of scrap paper. It's the week marker. It just says week 44 and the dates. So I'll be using that to do the title card with, the week card. Let's pop this aside. So this is just a tiny little embellishment. So just stamp it straight on. Whoops. There we go. And yeah, candy corn is the international symbol of Halloween, even though, as I say, we don't get it over here in the UK. Not no candy corn in the shops. Just put that away. This brush seems a bit wet right now. I'm just trying to dry it off a bit. There you go. It's probably better. Some yellow. There you go. I can just print that down and use that as the embellishment for this card. There you go. Just get the rest of the yellow pigment off before I stick this back in the box. As I say, each time I use this, I just wipe the brush onto my skin to get the pigment off the brush before I put it away. And I think I might use a little pink sequin. So I'll just open these up. These were on sale half price, so I thought I would give them a try. They look like they might be the right scale for Project Life. Some things are just too large to really work in the 6x4 or 3x4 format, but these look like they might be about the right size. And just stick that there. And that's just a little subtle bit, and that can go there. And I'll cut this out, this candy corn. I have a tendency when I'm cutting these things out to leave a bit of an edge round. Makes it stand out more, makes it easier and simpler to cut as well. So it's just a bit easier for me to do. It's being a little bit tricky for some reason. There we go. There we go. And I like how this pink just brings in a tiny bit of the pink, because the colour scheme for this week is pink, grey and yellow. So I'm going to stick these two down. Now I think with these sequins the easiest way to stick them down might be to use some glue that I have not used in an age, which are these glue dots. They're the diddy size glue dots. Very useful for putting down little things. But they say diddy, they're actually quite big. They're probably about ½ centimetre in diameter circle of glue. So yeah, that's just the right size for putting these down. But actually a bit too big. I'll put that on second, I think. A bit too big for putting on teeny tiny wood veneer stars and things. There are some embellishments that are too small for these diddy dots. There you go. Put a bit of glue onto this. Stick it down. And layer this sequin. I think I'm going to layer the sequin underneath actually. I thought maybe on top, but no, underneath looks better. There you go. And then I'm just going to do a tiny bit of journaling on there, and then that one will be finished. And I'll do that at the end because I just want to think a little bit about what I'm going to say with that. So I'll put that there. Now I'll grab this card back, and we can cut out a pair of welly boots. And I'm going to cut out a pair of yellow welly boots. Now, this leaves me with about 100 pairs of wellies on the rest of the sheet. Let's cut out this piece, these wellies. This leaves me with about 100 pairs left. But you know, I'm sure I'll take more photographs, and then maybe one day I'll have grandchildren. Might be able to use that welly boot print as for something else. But I am really pleased to be able to use this little welly boot embellishment for my little girl. And she loves her wellies. These are her second pair of wellies. She wore the soles out of her previous red pair. There you go. Oh, that is lovely. And then I could do my journaling on here. Looks a little bit bare. I might want to put a yellow heart or something. I think I want to put something in here. Maybe I'll look for a label sticker to go in there. So I really like these. Here's one that's grey. Life is sweeter because of you. Stick that on top. Yeah, I like how that looks, and it's grey, which matches the colour scheme. I love these sort of label stickers. They're a nice horizontal element that can go on things, and just I think sometimes a little label brings things together. So let's stick this all down. And as I've mentioned before, this ATG glue gun is very sticky, so you don't need to add too much glue. Get things well adhered. So across here. And I've just noticed that this end of the label on this one, that sort of scalloped in edges, is matched here and underneath on the Halloween picture. So that's nice, and it wasn't intentional, but it's a nice bit of echoing there that has happened by chance. There. Oh, lovely little welly boots. And I think that's something quite quintessentially of childhood, is welly boots. I mean, you do get people wearing welly boots as grown-ups, but I suppose I don't. But yeah, I do think it's quite a little thing of childhood. And then I'm probably just gonna slink a little sequin in there, just mostly overlapped, just to add a bit more detail, a bit more layering on this cluster of embellishments. You mostly can't see that. I think it's actually slightly further down. There we go. You mostly can't see that sequin, it's just peeking out. So I need to I'll stick down this corner just a little bit more. Put a tiny bit of glue on there. Trim off the edges, and then that is this card done. Save for the journaling, which I will do at the end. And I can journal all on here. I'm probably going to journal about how she wore her last pair of welly boots just down to you could see air through the soles. The next picture is this one. It's already got journaling on it, which I did on the computer. So I'm just going to quickly grab my strimmer, wherever it's hiding, and trim the edges off, and then I'm going to mat it on this chevron print. Easy as pie. Now, I might have rounded the corners on this one, but I think if I round the corners on this one, it might interfere with the journaling, which has ended up a bit closer to the edge than I intended. So I'm just going to leave this one straight edged and not worry about rounding the corners. I'll just grab this paper. Line it up. And we've already cut a little bit out of it, but that's fine. And I know chevrons aren't this season anymore, probably. But I do really like chevrons. I like chevrons, polka dots, stripes, all those kind of subtle patterns. And I'm pretty sure that's what I want this on. Yep, that's a nice mat for this picture. There we go. I can just call that one done. I'm going to bring back my board now and see what we're doing. If I make room. Here we go. Now this piece of paper is in the way. So now pop it out. So I've got some journaling to do on this card and this card. And I love you to the moon and back. And so awesome. Now I would prefer that the so awesome picture is next to a picture of one of my kids. So I'm going to rearrange some of this stuff. There we go. So the so awesome is next to my little one. And that's there. There we go. Now I'm planning to have this card here. And I wanted to have this card with the tickets there. Now I like how this is coming together. I think I'm going to put this onto the pink, maybe. I think that looks a bit pink here and pink here. Much better. Pink here, pink there. This one can go on top. There we are. So what's left to do on this one is the journaling about going to the theatre is going to be done on this card. So I don't have to worry about that. This is my week card and I need to do something with this. So I've got to work on this card, and this card. But this might look like it might be quite a quick week, which is one of the benefits of picking some supplies and just saying, right, let's go with these. So I think I'd like to pull in this grey, more of the grey, and then I know that I've got a nice pale pink alphabet that I can use with that. So I want to be using about this much, which is probably, I want to cover one line of the pattern with a nice strip. So that's probably 3/4 of an inch. Just eyeball it. There we go. Now this looks too small to cover my lettering, which I will just grab right this moment. My supplies, and I should have grabbed it earlier. But I was silly and didn't. And here they are, my pale pink lettering. Lovely glittery thickers. Very nice. And I want these to be on a nice strip of grey. So I'll just cut this. Just use my little scissors, actually. There we go. Now I'm not liking how this looks. I'll just figure out why. I don't like the fact that I think if I made the line any thicker, I wouldn't like how thick it was, but if I make it any smaller, I don't like that either. I might want to... No, I'm not sure what I want to do with this. How about instead I grab this piece of paper. I'm going to cut out this flower and see how that looks, and maybe just put the week date right on top of the passing paper. So sometimes I'm pretty convinced I know what I want, and then I try it and I think actually this is not what I want, and so you just try something else. So I'll just carefully cut around the edges of this flower. Until we are finished. There we go. I think these needs to be cut out. And just this little bit. Snip, snip, snip. There we go. I can put that down on there. I might like to... Let's have a look at this. It's a lovely curly cute alphabets. I might like to raise this up on some stickers. Now if I... Where's the thinner bit in there? I like the idea of grabbing some pink washi tape, and I'm just free-forming it at the moment without any real plan. And look, there's this that I've had for a very long time. Might be able to use this. This is a highly detailed piece of ribbon. How does that look? I think it looks far too big. So we'll just pop this back. One of these days I'm going to use this really lovely felt ribbon. One of these days. So I can grab... Oh look, I've got this, this looks nice. I've got this triangle felt in the pink, and that's going to pick up on the triangle. Yeah, I like how that looks. It's going to accentuate the triangles in the paper. Put this on top. Yep, I really like how that looks. And I might look to try and find other places where I can put this in the layout, perhaps. Maybe. Depending. So the easiest way to stick this down, that's what we're thinking of. It's been a while since I used some felt. I imagine that the easiest way might be to use this trimmer, and I might, yeah, this is quite difficult to glue. Luckily this is paper that has horizontal lines on it, so it might be fairly easy. And let's lay this down. So I'm making sure that all the peaks line up with this line. The simplest way to make sure that it doesn't look too messy. There we go. And then we want to put this down. In order for this not to look strange, I'm going to put glue on the edge that's going next to or on top of the felt, and then put some foam dots down on the edge that's going onto the card, so there isn't a really big difference between the height of the part of the strip that's on the card and the part of the strip that's resting against the felt. So just peel off all the backings. Oh dear. It's a fiddly old job, this picking off the backings. Two more to go. There we are. And so now I put the side with the roller adhesive on top of the felt, and then the side with the foam dots goes here. And so then that's a nice bit of, adds a nice bit of dimension to the card. There we go. Just trim it off, and then I can stick this flower here. That looks really nice. I like how that looks a lot. And same again. So I'm just gonna put glue straight onto this, and then some foam dots at the top of the flower, because part of this flower is sitting on top of this nice dimensional and some of it isn't. So let's just peel off these stickers. Now my taper is a little with these back. When I'm finished, I'll just sweep them all straight into the bin. Waste paper basket. And then I just line this up with the edge. Stick that down. And I really like how that looks. Looks really, really nice. And now I put my alphabet on. And I'll just get that slight edge off there. Now this alphabet might be a bit too big to go on here. Let's see how it looks. This is week 34. So just stick these down. 34. If it doesn't work out, I can just put them back in their box. Stick it back down. There we go, that's nice. Yeah, we've got two E's. Then the W is going to be on top of the flower, and that'll either look nice or it won't. No, I really, really like how that looks. I'm happy with how that's come out. There we go. I really, really like how that looks. That looks really nice. Lovely. I need to put the dates on here, and sometimes I get to the end and then I think, well, where am I going to put the dates? I might just write it on in pen. Here it is. Here's my journaling pen, and I'll just mimic the look of the date stamp that I have, which is the Dear Lizzie date stamp, and this is October the 27th. So I'll just grab some ink and stamp November the 2nd. And I'll just copy how that looks. So November the 2nd. So just to remind myself how it looks, so I'll just write that. I'm going to write it backwards. There we go. There we go. And then it's from October the 27th. There we go. So it's not stamped, but there's no way I could stamp in there having done all that work already. Possibly I could have peeled it back, but I think that looks fine. And so that's the title card finish, and I really like how that looks, nice and dimensional. And now we are left with these two cards, and then that's pretty much the week done aside from journaling. So this one I want to be matting onto white. So grab a piece of white, and I want the corners rounded on this piece. So I'll just round off the corners of these photographs. Such a lovely picture of my daughter just fast asleep in her little baby backpack. As she's gotten heavier, we bought a second one, and luckily with that one she can't end up so flop-sided. Not that she falls asleep so much anymore. She's now over a year old, and she doesn't sort of randomly fall asleep the way she did when she was a baby. Which is both good and bad. It's lovely to watch them grow up, but it's always a little bit sad when I look at pictures of them as babies. I think, oh, my babies, where did you go? I'm sure every parent knows that feeling. So let's just mat these. I'm giving them quite a generous mat because they're quite small, quite a bit smaller than 3 before. And one of them is a bit smaller than the other in width. That's alright. So I'll just quickly chop this down. And this one is a little less width. There we go. And then I'll think about how I want, what embellishments I want on here. So here we go. Oh, that's really lovely. Now I'm looking at this pink, and it would be nice to have some pink in this corner, but I have just put a whole load of pink onto the title card, which is right next door to this one. And I'd like to bring in some more of this yellow. I'm trying to think how I feel this would look if it was a pink matte and mainly the yellow. Yeah, I think that looks alright. I'm not sure. How about a grey matte? And the yellow? Yes, that looks much better. Much better. So I'm just going to grab some plain grey from my scrap baskets. So I've cut out a grey scrap that happened in my scrap basket. It's got this nice black detailing on it, but that mostly won't be seen, just a tiny bit in the corner. And down the yellow. I was keen to get some more of this lovely yellow chevron in there because it's a really nice pattern. So here's this one. This one. And stick this one on here. Trim this one off again. I think I still need to practice making sure I do all my activity on screen. I'm still just getting used to filming these videos. There we go. And then I'm going to grab this, stick it along here. There we go. And then the journaling on here is going to be, so this is Lizzie asleep for 1 minute. And then this is Lizzie asleep after 5 minutes. you go. And I'm really happy with how that one's turned out. That's nice. And so then the last card to do is this one. And it's going to have the tickets on it. And I think I'll go with B4 and B5. I don't think I need all three. Would all three look good? The three of us, me and her dad and her were there, and our friends babysat. It's hard to know. I think maybe just two would look better. Or maybe even just one. Yeah, let's just go one. Let's go crazy here. Let's just go one. And I am going to maybe just layer up some boxes. Let's grab this. I'm not using it for anything, so I can just cut this down into some smaller boxes. And I quite like the effect of this to use just the sort of random size. Cut the curved edge from where I corner rounded it, so I thought I'd be using it straight up. So I'm going to grab some and I'm literally just very randomly cutting out. There's another piece. Let's ink these edges first off so that they stand out. Just take 2 secs. And then I'm just going to layer these on top of each other with the ticket on top. I'm looking at this, I definitely want another piece of that yellow. Maybe a sort of a more vertical piece, even, or a square piece. Let's go for a rough square. There we go. Let's ink this up. And then I'm going to layer these pieces on top of each other. Stick the ticket in the middle. I think I like the look of this here and this here, and this here and this here, the ticket there. There we go. So I'll lay them like that. So this one in this corner, this one in this corner, this one in between those two like that, and this last piece like that, and then the ticket there. Now I'm gonna staple this ticket on the left. Sometimes I think the little staples, and I use a tiny attacher. I think they look good with ephemera. It sort of highlights the sort of, I don't know, lost and found nature of ephemera. There we go. And now I can do all of my journaling in this little space here. Now I'm going to grab those sequins I had earlier and see if there's 3 little places that would look good for sequins on here. So I want to surround the ticket. Maybe on there. There we go. I think that looks nice. Still a little bit of detail in there. I can still do the journaling there. So I will stick these little sequins down using these Diddy glue dots. One on there. One on there. And one sort of crossing it. There. Nice. So all I've got left to do is the journaling on this card, and I'm going to bring it all back. Push all of this stuff out of the way. And bring back my board. So here we are. This one in here, this one in here. Now I'm looking at what I feel, so I've got journaling here, 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 and to label this here. I'm just thinking if there's anything else I want to add this. I really like the colours. I'm really glad I picked this colour scheme because I really like how pink and yellow and grey look together. I'm really glad I got to use this spanky glittery alphabet. I don't think I've used it for Project Life before. And I'm just thinking if there's anything else. I got sequins on a few of the cards. And no, I think this looks quite complete to me. I'll just see if a couple of sequins like here would look good. Yeah, I like how that looks. And I don't have any sequins on this side of the page. Just a little one there. So I'll add in that detail. There we go. There we go. Yep, that is where I'm going to call this week, week 44 of 2015, done. That's all for this episode. If you want, you can look me up on Facebook, Twitter, check out my website welshbunnies.com, or you could look at some of my earlier videos. Thanks for watching.